Hi and welcome to episode 11 of Infamous Second Son Going Good. This is my second time trying to do this recording because the mission that I was doing broke completely. And for some reason, it is the same mission that I did last time. This is the second time it's done this. Um, Hopefully, I just rebooting and fix it. Uh, I am going to be doing all the missions I can this episode, and if I haven't done all the campaign missions, I'm going to do it again next
Reg, you're
episode.
right. They're scrambling, but no one's firing.
Okay.
And now they're ordering all Seattle PD out of an area near the waterfront. Must be something they don't want anybody to see.
Well, hope they don't mind if I take a look.
It sounds like they've carpeted the group with APCs. Stick to the rooftops.
You worry too much.
Is it going to give me the object? There it is. Last time it didn't even give me the objective marker.
Reg, ever
Okay.
tell you how great the views are from up here?
Eyes on the prize, brother. We'll sightsee later, yeah?
Uh,
It's Betty.
Betty, really not a good time.
No, you don't. This time you'll listen to me. It's time for you to stop all this foolishness and come home.
Soon, Betty. I just need to...
I know what you're there to try to fix what happened. Uh-huh. I'm not the ditzy old woman you thought I was.
Betty, you really don't understand.
Listen, while I appreciate what you're trying to do, stop doing it right now. As long as you come home safe, that's all that matters.
I can't. Soon, I promise, but not yet.
Is it Reggie who's making you stay? He's a sweet boy, but he can be stubborn when he's got his mind set. But if you told him you wanted to come home, he'd do it. He'd do anything for you. You know that, right?
Betty, I gotta go. Thanks for calling.
You tell Reggie that Betty said it's time to get both your asses home. And that I said hi.
okay, I can talk now. That wasn't in the last episode. I don't think. That's actually pretty cool. She is a very concerned grandma, basically. Grandma adjacent, I don't think Betty is their actual grandma, but because of how those cultures work, or not cultures, those groups, I think is a better way to put it, because it's its own culture, but it's also a group in America, kind of, tomato, potato. She's basically his grandma in respect and in power and different things like that. But I kind of feel for Delson because sometimes I do good shit and they think it's other people and different things like that. The people that I know and different things like that, that has to fucking hurt his soul. That she instantly thinks it's his better brother that is trying his best to cure them and different things like that. That has to fucking hurt. um, but as I was saying, I am going to complete this mission. Then I'm going to get 20 some odd blast shards to get concrete leveled up once I get concrete. And that's not really a spoiler because the entire campaign thus far has been to get concrete. Getting all these abilities has just been to get concrete. So concrete is going to be got kind of thing.
Reg, you seen these concrete things popping up everywhere? Looks like I've got them running scared.
Or maybe that's just how concrete DUPs mark their territory. You know, concrete tagging.
Well, this is their way of tagging. They should stick to terrorizing innocent people because they suck at this.
When this is all over, you can go back and tag their tags. Let's find this escaped conduit first.
To be honest, concrete tagging, I think, is the best form of tagging because, for example, if they could completely manipulate concrete, like I'm guessing, redheaded bitch, I forget her name, the person that owns the DUP and all that. If she has full control over concrete, she could, in theory, Frozone Iceman skate in the sky, making concrete pillars as she goes. Just completely, just fucking gone wherever she wants to go. Which, it's just fucking broken, to be completely honest. Just being able to make solid matter and just project it any way you want to. You can make staircases, you could do anything you want to.
Reg, they're scorch marks everywhere. Looks like my handiwork.
Oh, so there's another smoke conduit. Shouldn't surprise you. There's not just one of each.
I don't know, I guess I was just hoping for something new.
Show me what you mean by handiwork.
Well, I'll take it that the plane, or not planes, the enema chopters just went out.
Wow. So this is what it looks like when you... I avoided looking up close.
Hey man, they do the same thing to me.
Oh. Can I just... Oh, no, I can't. Yeek.
Wait, I hear another one.
Oh. So this is just going to be a hell of a lot faster as well. I'm just going to speedrun this because I already did this last episode. Shit.
Reg, this conduit man, they're saying it's that guy, Hank.
What? I thought you said she killed him back in Salmon Bay.
She did, or I thought she did. I mean, I saw her kill him. I mean, he's dead. I'm sure of it.
Just keep looking.
Okay. I would love a PvP game like I've talked about in previous episodes, because just imagine for a second. Imagine you are one of these guys. You're shooting the conduit. You have conduit ability, sure, but you're shooting that guy over there. He then dashes away from you, jumps, goes invisible, spawns a shit that starts shooting at you. You have no clue where he went, and if it's PvP and different things like that, that floaty boy should be some sort of nuisance. So you have no clue where to go, and you have to prioritize something or another. And that entire dynamic could be so fucking beautiful in a game, in a PvP setting, because you're dealing with not just AI because they're programmed to do one thing or another. They can do the same shit you can. So it's a battle of wits at that point, and that's fucking cool.
Okay, Reggie, I'm gonna admit it. I was wrong.
And I've talked about PvP a lot, but PvP is not necessarily the perfect
A little early Christmas gift for you.
the perfect
You gotta call a girl when you decide to go on a rampage in downtown.
That's not me.
I got a great view of somebody smoking the hell out of dupe choppers.
But you can see them? Where are you?
On top of a building near 12th and Union.
Okay. PvP is not necessarily the perfect, so to speak, game or game type, but it allows you to have so much more depth into your game. Because if it is just AI, if you're just battling AI constantly, sure, it could be a Dark Souls where you're just fucking him, not impossible, but every fight is a struggle, which is, it's not hard to pull off because you can easily up everything and then make it possible, but not, relatively speaking, it's pretty easy to do. But to make it very good, that's the hard part. But that's not how you can have a long-lasting game unless it's... The community around Dark Souls is fucking crazy. They can play Dark Souls. A lot of people can't because, yeah, damn, it's fucking hard. And everything is so fucking hard. And, yeah, not going by that. PvP allows you to have, especially if there's like skill-based matchmaking or something similar. I'm not going to just be using skill-based matchmaking. That alone is not a good way or a good system to have good PvP in the long run. You need like playstyle-based matchmaking, fire team-based matchmaking, And on top of that, having a mixture of both, where your fire team's playstyle mixed with yours gives you your team, because the people that are going to have to fit into that team are going to have to work together, different things like that, like how do you play, your communication, all those different things, because that is what makes PvP so good, and being able to not fine-tune that, but being able to, best way to put it, you're trying to make a fruit basket in PvP. You're trying to make each person being able to do a different thing, like a different fruit could do. Like, don't even go into that, but you're trying to mix each fruit that could taste good together, trying to make a good cocktail of different play styles against another good cocktail of different play styles to really complement each other, or complement each other in fighting each other. You're wanting a good show of it, a good fight, a good balanced fight back and forth, not just one-sided. And if all of those things are good, PvP is the best way to make things. Or having a PvP mode. PvP alone is not what makes a good game. You need a good PvE game mode, because without that, you don't have people like me that really don't like PvP but are good at it. Or they might not even be good at it. They might not like PvP and might not even be good at it, but still, they need the PvE mode to be able to play and have fun in. And that PvE mode, if done properly, can then correlate to the PvP, back and forth, to have overarching playstyle like Destiny. And that's part of the reason why I love Destiny and why I want a lot of people to play that game. Because just those, if you look at it from an objective standpoint, the things Destiny 2, specifically Destiny 1, was a proof of concept, like I've said, with a lot of different games, with a lot of different ones of a franchise. That is a proof of concept. Destiny 2, holy fuck, especially now how it's basically Destiny 3, holy fuck, it has implemented everything I have said, and which is why I talk about it so much. It is an amazing example of what I talk about when I talk about good games. Sure, Bungie has been doing a lot of questionable things, but I personally do not know enough about why Bungie did it exactly, or what they're doing exactly. So, in talking about the layoffs specifically, the monetary stuff, I actually don't really see a problem with, because they've always valued your amount of money. You never need to buy anything with any silver, with anything, unless it is the expansions. Even then, the expansions are different prices because of the shit they give you. If you buy the annual pass, you're expecting to have a fuck ton of enjoyment out of everything. That's why there's the annual pass. It's not meant to be you pay this $100 and that's all you need to pay for. Like, that's all you need to pay for, but that's not the thing you need to buy. You can just buy the battle pass, or the expansion, and then buy the battle passes you want to save you money overall, and different things like that. If you are smart with your money, holy fuck, Bungie is an amazing company to put your money in. But if you're not smart with it, that's where we get a lot of people complaining about it. Like, there's so many things to buy. I'm not gonna say there's not so many things to buy. There's a fuck ton of things to buy, but it's primarily to express yourself. If you are like me and will only ever use one banner, one cosmetic set really for your entire time playing with this, or in Destiny, every build has one cosmetic set. I never really change it. Ah, he actually runs. I thought I could just stand here. Fuck. Okay. Gonna pause. I can do that. I want to finish this during this thought. With the different cosmetics, you don't have to buy a fuck ton of cosmetics to fully express yourself. You can only buy one, or only really need to buy one that you fully click with and go from there. Because you can make every single armor piece cosmetic. And I'm sorry for going down that rabbit hole, just that is what I'm wanting to implement in my game as well, but more heavy on bright dust type things, because you're going to want to be able to get everything for free, not necessarily everything, but I'm wanting the dedicated players to have everything basically at their disposal if they really want it. Every cosmetic I put in the game, if you put the time in to earn it, like for example, World of Warcraft, how it used to, because I never played it, or I did dabble in it because my parents played it, or I didn't dabble in it, I played a pretty good bit because my parents played it a whole lot. You could play the game, earn gold to then buy the subscription for WoW. Like, you could earn it in the game. I'm not planning on having subscriptions, but that general thing of being able to earn the in-game currency to buy in-game goods, that's just a good way to do it. And that's what I'm going to do for most, if not all, my games. And like I said previously, I don't know how I'm going to price my game. I personally like the idea of a free-to-play game to get people in the door of liking my game. But there's pros and cons to that. Like I'd have to have a battle pass system or something like that. Stuff like that I'm going to have to fully sink my teeth into and get. I'm going to figure that out once I figure out how I'm going to make the game, produce the game, because different things like that. Sorry for rambling. Just I make these videos to give a full view, so to speak, into my mind, so people can understand me as the developer of hopefully their favorite games. Because my goal is to have my foot in the door of everything I want to do being video games. Because I know I can make absolutely. I how do I put this? I do not want to be compared to the Mona Lisa exactly in my games, but I want to be compared to the artist. I think it's Van Gogh. I want to be like Van Gogh, Gabe Newell, like Van Gogh, Gabe Newell for games, because uh, Gabe Newell made beautiful games, literally progressed gaming as a platform and the entire entity that it is now. He did so much for it, like the people that made Doom, the first one. Like those people are Albert Einstein was beautiful in saying, "I stand on the shoulders of shoulders of giants." I think it was Albert Einstein. It could have been Stephen Hawking, but one of the two. I stand on the shoulders of giants because doing what anyone doing anything nowadays cannot take full credit for what they're doing, because even your phone, everything around you was not made by one person alone. It was made by advancement after advancement after advancement of generations of people working on this, not one object, but generally like one object overall, because the phone is one object, but all the little pieces in it took years upon years upon years to actually develop. So same for me, I stand on the shoulders of giants when making my games, and I will implement those beautiful ideas, those beautiful concepts, those things that make those gigantic infrastructures so beautiful, and then make it even better. And I mean infrastructures like how Team Fortress 2 is still a thing, even though it's fucking ancient by today's standards in video games. Like, it is holy fuck ancient by today's standards. That's not a bad thing. Like, I personally love Doom, the original Doom. Sure, its graphics are very bad, but the original Doom is a masterpiece in my personal opinion. It is beautiful, and especially when you think about it, in my personal favorite way to think about it, Doom is sure a first-person shooter, but keep in mind, there was no engines to make FPS at the time. They had to turn a top-down engine into an FPS engine. They finagled the fuck out of everything to make it an FPS. They had a dream and made it reality through computers and shit like that. Like, that beauty, that it's just fucking amazing. And I hope people that watch my videos watch and enjoy, not enjoy, but enjoy things that I think about, or not the things I think about, but the way I think about things. Or I hope you have the same thought process as I have to an extent, because this is how you can truly enjoy things around you. Is just think about the beauty in every little thing, because oh, it's fucking cool. Just things are cool. And that's part of my science, but still, or part of my nerd. Because I view anything and everything as science, even cooking, especially cooking, because that is literally just a science. If you're good with flavors, good at measuring different things, it is just a science, which is why you can go to school for it. And okay, technically you can go to school for things that aren't necessarily a science. I'm not going to get into that because that is how you start a lot of fights. But still.
Because I think this might be the guy who was on that transport with you, the one I got my powers from.
You mean that big sweaty guy, Hank?
Yes, and if he busted out of Augustine's tower, then maybe he can help me figure out a way to break in. Why don't you come with me and help?
No. No, that guy is bad news. I think I'll just, sit back and watch the fireworks. Delson, just watch yourself. I don't trust the bald redneck.
Sure, but I'm not exactly helpless, all right? Besides, he and I've got something in common. We've got no love for Augustine.
Yeah. Good luck.
Okay, how long have I been rambling for another 20 minutes? I am sorry, y'all, but I do actually want to. I don't like having broad endings like that with what I said last because that allows people to just go wild and make me seem like even worse of a person. And that is typically what people do when it comes to me, and I personally don't fucking like it. But things that should not be taught or not should not be taught in school, things that should not have like a doctorate, a full on this is a course, this is a field of study, is things like art should not really have a doctorate because it's all perspective, it's all personal, it's not it games, because of the depth, can have a science, in my personal opinion. But when it comes to a picture, sure, you can say the beauty, like the Mona Lisa, like that's fucking beautiful. The different I hope you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to try and say that again. The, the finite details. There we go. That's another way to say it. Make the Mona Lisa fucking beautiful, and most people can agree on that. But when it comes to actually studying it and making it your entire livelihood, that is where it shouldn't be a doctorate, because that is not really something you can do, because it's all on publicity, on personal feel. Like modern art nowadays, you can literally just toss shit, literal, I think I've heard this, I believe this is true because of things I know about modern people nowadays, toss shit on a canvas, make it splat, and actually that's modern art. People will buy it because publicity and different things like that. It's more about the who it's made by than what it is, and that is not really good. And art is meant to be, like I've said in the Spider-Man video, is meant to be shared, is meant to be out there, is meant to be enjoyed, not meant to be sold like poker chips. Which is part of the reason why I really like the idea of a free-to-play game versus a paid game, because paid game you have to like value everything you're selling and different things like that. Like sure, it could be $60, but who's really going to pay a $60 game nowadays when there's Fortnite, when there's Apex, when there's Destiny, when there's all sorts of amazing free games? I think that's just kind of not a good idea nowadays. And different things like that. I'm a massive nerd. I am going to try my best to not go full ramble mode next episode. I am going to just finish the campaign as fast as possible. Starting right now. I actually stood up and started talking or stood up to talk a little bit more because reasons.
Reg, I got eyes on him. He's
You,
on a rooftop downtown fighting off choppers.
All right, but listen to me. Don't let the DUP catch him.
All right, I got it. Reg, I'm on the roof.
Hank,
Isn't.
you lost him? On purpose?
He can practically fly, man.
Yeah, so can you. In 3 languages.
okay, that right there is why the previous episode is called Fly in 3 Languages, if you haven't watched it. That is why I'm also saying that the game glitched again, giving me the previous mission, and I don't like that. Or said earlier in the video, way earlier. Damn, he's good.
You trying to get killed? Ian? Reggie, I got him. If the cop's here, I'm gone. Your turn with the chopper. Damn it, Reg, you scared him off.
Well, that was a lucky shot. You hand him a chopper, bitch. Huh?
Damn it, Reg, I lost him.
You
Well, I Lantern
didn't miss, hell yeah.
911 switchboard's got crazy.
Die, you big motherfucker.
Bioterrorist.
Fuck. Die, you big motherfucker. Okay, and go.
Hank, wait, I'm not gonna hurt you. I just need your... Oh, never mind, I already have that. I'm warning you, kid! Back the hell off! Make me! Would you slow down? I just want to talk! Got nothing to say to you! Hank! Come on, man, I don't want to do this! Then stop! Hank, I need your help! Ain't gonna get it!
Okay, I'm sorry for pausing this, but I personally think this is funny. I was basically cyberbullying him. And I say funny because in the world, I'm using video to completely make his attempt escape or escape attempt. I don't know why I do that a lot of flip things like that, but escape attempt completely null and void because I use video. That's kind of cyberbullying.
Man, you really can't take a punch.
Hank? How the hell did you get this number?
You listed. Sorry about the thing with the sucker punch before, but I knew there was no talking to you till you calmed down. You calm down,
I swear, man, when I get my hands on you,
I'll call you back in a half hour.
No, wait. I'm calm.
You sure? 'Cause so far you've been all about chasing and shouting and wailing away at me.
I'm gonna take Augustine down, but I need your help to do it.
I could sign on for something like that.
Great. Then we should...
Hold on. The DUP guys around here are scrambling. Something's up. I'll check it out and I'll call you back.
I wish, especially in single player games where there's not entirely another thing. I don't know how games work exactly when it comes to coding, but I'm guessing because of the complexities between trying to balance PvP and PvE, especially I'm thinking under Destiny type of programming, and I'm trying to use the best logical type of understanding of how to do things. In a game like this, where it's only PvE, it's pretty simple, so to speak. I would love it if, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, every single game I've ever played has this problem. And it's not a bad thing, it's just a thing that I'm personally going to try and not fix, but make it not really a problem anymore. Because it's not really a problem to begin with. When he says shooting, wailing, and doing all that to him, I didn't. Technically, you're supposed to. You're supposed to be shooting him, just absolutely just tossing everything you fucking can at him. Technically, but if you don't, there should be a different cutscene, or not a different cutscene, a different voice line there, and it could just be that one little bit being different, and that's all you would need to make that a little bit more gamer or person playing oriented, to make it more of an immersive experience. And I know that's not necessarily the end all be all of an immersive experience, but it does help make the game a little bit better.
Reggie, it's me.
Delson, thank God. You disappeared on me.
Sorry, look, I caught up with Hank. He wants to work with us to get to Augustine.
What? No, I'm not so sure that's a good idea, man.
Come on, you know what, big brother? You worry too much.
Maybe you just don't worry enough. Listen, be careful and watch your back.
Worry too much?
Not enough.
Okay, last bit, and then I'm just going to go full send in the story. And I already said that, but this is true. I have been thinking about, because of how creative and different things that I am, and how I like. For an example, RRP. I really like the idea of mystical, magical type of shit. So I've been thinking and brainstorming the idea of my game company being something around the lines of like Mana Forge or Magic Foundry or something like that, making it more mystical magical, because that I'm wanting to bring magic into games, so to speak. I'm wanting to use the creative spark everyone can think of and make games using that magic, that beauty, and forge masterpieces out of it. Which all of that is going to be things that I've been brainstorming on making my slogan, because I really like this idea. But going off of that, purple armor isn't exactly in that flavor. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way or figure out a better name than purple armor, I'm thinking. I do like purple armor because I love the color purple and I really like armor, purple armor. But I'm gonna have to figure out something around the lines of I don't really know. Well, okay. I've been okay. This is a spoiler, but I don't think anyone really watches this far into my videos because they're an hour long. That alone, saying that is a deterrent for people watching it. But I personally like hour-long videos. Um, I am wanting, and I did say this earlier, I haven't talked to the person that could do the art, but I am wanting to have, best way to describe it, I am wanting to have a complete creativity. Like, okay, I am wanting to basically have like a VTuber persona, because I am never going to show my face, because that is, I am not a criminal or anything like that. That is not why I want to show my face. That could be a easy, people want to jump to that. It's not that. I just don't want that publicity. I want my things to be what gives me the publicity, gives me the people to like me, or not people to like me, but people to like what I sell. It's not me selling it, it's it alone selling it, kind of thing. Um, but with that said, I am wanting to do something around the lines of like a autistic god, in the best way to put it. And keep in mind, I am high functioning autistic. Everything I'm about to say is literally from experience. um, Autism, and from experience, because I, best way to put it, have evolved over the course of my life. I was not high functioning autistic basically when I was younger. I was glass sculpture. I fully understand that. I've said this in other videos, but I was a glass sculpture. Now I am fully capable of everything I want to do, and it is amazing, but not going into that. Um, I had a point. That's why I want to do Autistic God. Not that I am the god of autism or anything like that, but that creative thing. Because, okay, autism, from what I've learned and discovered with seeing other people's autism and different things like that, is it is a blessing and a curse. It is a good thing and a bad thing. It is equal parts in a lot of different cases, except for those that have more, or a, I think, I don't know exactly how diagnoses work, but from what I've understood, when it is more than autism, because autism can have a lot of extra shit on it, like the ones that I don't know how to describe it without sounding offensive. I am not trying to be offensive, just descriptions because of how people in society nowadays takes everything as offensive, so I'm trying my best not to get burned at the stake because people really like being offended. But the people that don't have good motor functions, that are scrunched up, that or not scrunched up, but not necessarily that way, but don't have a lot of things you would typically think of. I think that's a good way to put it. Because I don't want to seem mean, because any way I could put it, it's just mean, to be completely honest. Uh, but that those guys have a lot of problems that don't balance out because it's more than just autism. But when you just have autism, and I'm saying that because people, I'm guessing a lot of people think that that's autism, when I don't think it I think it's a lot of other things tacked onto it, or a couple other things, not necessarily a lot. But going back to autism, autism is a balance. It takes a lot of social aspects, and for me, it takes being able to just talk to people because I have the blabbermouth and different things like that. It just takes the ability to really get out there and talk to people and different things like that. It makes me a very introvert, but I still want to be an extrovert. I'm a weird case, but it is a balancer. It takes stuff, but gives them so much more potential in a specific field. And I've talked about that before because of how it works. It's sure they can't do A, B, C, and possibly D very well, but those things aren't necessarily important. And then they can do A or 1 and 2 because they're in completely different fields, completely different everything. A or 1 and 2 better than people that have studied that field all their lives. Basically, from get go, with barely any study into that field. Those people that can do that, and that's a lot of autistic people. Sure, they don't seem right off the bat that they don't have, like, can't do a lot, something. And I will not stake my life on it, but I will say without a doubt that every autistic person has something. It might be very obscure, might be very weird, like pole dancing. And I'm not saying do a pole dancing, I'm just saying it could be something weird like that. You never fucking know. And don't sell your body because that is not a good thing to do. I am just putting that out there. That is not something you should do. If it is the last resort and you're good at it, like, not last resort. If your last resort is never, it's never last resort. There's plenty of things you can do. If you're intelligent, if you're capable, there's plenty of things you can do. And if you're touched a couple, but if it is what you are very good at, that is where there's a little bit of wiggle room. When you actually like it and you're good at it, then yeah, I guess do you. But it's still, people look at you bad and different things like that, but that's the entire point. But besides the point, every autistic person has a very a very specific thing maybe, but a thing that they are fucking good at. Me, I think it's just nerd. And I mean that in the best way. I could absorb physics, mathematics, biology, artsy, crafty shit. And I mean artsy, crafty shit as in, like, the different, like, art styles, paint styles, the different genres, all these different things. I can uh, just about anything you can think of when it comes to science. Like science, not modern sciences. Like, can't think of one off the top of my head, but there are some that are just weird, like different psychological different things. Or not, no, those are actually, to be honest, psych evaluations or psychological things are very iffy when it comes to science, but they do. Okay, because of how different everybody is, trying to make a mental study a science is like trying to make art a science. Every single person is a different sculpture, a different piece of art, a different thing altogether, even when it comes to mental capacity, mental networks, and even what we know about how this brain is made. Every single brain has different networks, different connections, different everything. So trying to, and sure, it's the same chemical makeup, but everything else is different and completely different to the person. So trying to make that a science, and I know that's not modern, but people are trying to make it more aggressive push forward. And people like Jordan Peterson, and I've listened to a lot of it, not everything, not a lot of what he said, not everything that he said, but if you actually listen to what he says and actually think about what he says and not just want to have a political leaning or anything like that, not, oh, he's anti-LGBTQ or anything like that, think about it. It actually does make a point to an extent. Like, some things I don't fully agree with, but when he actually explains it, because he's going completely scientific, completely, like, like from experience, not from experience, but not personal experience, but like history, different things like that, he has a point. I don't know. Yeah, because he's a social person using mental psychological evaluations. That's why I was talking about him. Makes sense. Okay. Sorry about that rant. Sorry about this 30, 40 some odd rant. Fuck. I'm gonna just title this video Rant. Hope you enjoy. Something like that. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to rant. I I shouldn't even bother playing another mission because that is just not going to happen. Well, at least, okay, I am going to save, making sure this game will not fuck me over again. Saving. And if this game makes me have to do that portion again, I am calling mega shenanigans. That is some bullshit. You just saw me save. But I hope. First, I don't know how much people actually watch. I do not want to do that because that might make me a little bit depressed. Don't know if it would, might though. Because I'm assuming people don't watch past the first 10 minutes because how people typically watch videos nowadays, like everyone watches shorts, and that just doesn't help with a lot of things, but primarily attention span because short clip, go, 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 go. If that's all you're doing, you're going to want to keep doing short clip. It's muscle memory, but mental kind of stuff. Think of it like that. Um, but since I've already rambled for 40 minutes, I am going to make sure I get everything out right now. So next episode, I can just do the campaign. If you have watched this far into the video, I absolutely fucking thank you. And this sounds bad. If you are young or any which way, you are a good friend type of love. I love you. Like, damn it, dude. You're actually wanting to listen to me. My own fucking family doesn't want to do that. Thank you. um, and that's why I wanted to do the specifics there, because if you are young, saying I love you just without that is kind of fucking weird, and I don't mean it that way. And not kind of fucking weird. It depending on how you mean it, can be literally not okay. Sinful is the correct word, but not the right word. Fucking atrocious. I know words, my mouth doesn't want to make them. I'm very intelligent. A horrible thing to do that no one should ever do, because insensitive or things like that. But yeah, hmm. Oh yeah, I was actually talking about. I don't know why I didn't talk about it. I'm guessing another tangent. Um, what I was talking about with my VTuber design. I am wanting to do. Uh, think of it. Okay, I do not know how to look it up on Google, but I'm assuming, because just to make it easy, that you have not watched Ben 10 Omniverse. And I haven't watched a lot of Ben 10 Omniverse, to be completely honest. I just watched a YouTube channel called The Ink Tank, which even if you do not like Ben 10, I highly suggest watching them because the amount of effort and detail and just they put more effort into every frame of Ben 10 than the actual fucking developers of Ben 10. If I get rich, one of my, and I don't know if I've told them this because I do comment on their videos a lot because I do actually really like them. Um, if I do get rich, I will try my best to give them the rights to Ben 10. Because even in Ben 10, which is something kind of cool, and this actually has a point, the Celestial Sapiens are able to not copyright. And okay, I think multiple layers basically. So I have one train of logic going and then another train of logic going, which is why I stumble on my words a whole lot because I'm trying to think to helping me out and then combine. I know that it is copyright when trying to give other people the rights to the game or to the thing in general, but trying to get the, and I'm saying copyright because that's what I said. The trying to get them the rights to it is going to be a hassle because it's not just going to be money. It's going to have to be like also different things. I'm going to have to finagle that, and I know that, and I'm wanting to get people to actually understand why that's a good idea. It is not just I like the people that make videos on Binton. It's not just the ink tank because they make videos on Binton that I think is going to be good for Binton. Because of the detail and care and effort and all of that into Binton they do is fucking beautiful. And that's why I think they should have it. And that's what I'm going to try and hone in on the publicity, on everything like that. When it comes to Celestial Sapiens, they actually have a retcon ability because Celestial Sapiens, in my understanding and how I quantify them, each Celestial Sapien is a reality basically, which is why they look and are starry, because they are a reality, right? Alien X in Omniverse could literally just bring back the reality. Sure, it's a clone, sure, it's a replica, but it's from the exact moment it got deleted. Where, in my personal headcanon, how I've been thinking about it, Benton turns into his Celestial Sapien, which is why each Celestial Sapien has his own reality. With that said, when all of that actually becomes fully known in lore and canon, the Celestial Court case, I want to say, I don't know what else to call it, there is a battle between Ben 10 and the Celestial Gladiator. Because I just love the idea, if I have to fight, I am a gladiator. I do not want to use weapons except for kata, Indian kata. I hope I'm not butchering it. That is the only type of weapon I would ever use when it comes to melee combat, and I love just punching somebody when I have to. But I don't like fighting, but that is my personal favorite way to fight. Fighting actually makes me kind of sick, to be completely honest. Just I, if I have to fight, I want to punch and grab and maneuver like a bare knuckle barbarian would. Kata would allow me to go bare knuckle, kind of. Sure, there'll be the bar there, but kind of with that manipulation and also high damage when it comes to punching, which is why I want Kata. But it's the Celestial Gladiator is the art style or the general design, even with that long flowing beard. Sure, I IRL will not have a long flowing beard. I'm gonna want to have like a more well kept bush on my face because I just like facial hair. I like all the hair on my body because I like being a Sasquatch. I even have Sasquatch feet. If you haven't seen the picture I posted or the pictures I posted yesterday, my boots are fucking massive. Um, But besides the point, uh, uh, I had a point. That general design is what I'm wanting to go with when it comes to my picture, my cover art, and my VTuber identity. I don't know if I'm going to want to go VTuber. If I do go VTuber, I am going to want to go all out and have like a full body thing. I didn't watch the video because I don't like watching VTubers because they're typically more horny than anything else. And I do want to point this out, and I've said, and I don't have said this a lot in videos, but how I cuss a lot and how I just talk. I am not a kid-friendly channel. If you are a kid, and I'm surprised I haven't said this earlier, do not watch me if you are under 18. Please. I do not want anything to do with you. Every single game, and that sounds like a bad thing. Every single game I am going to make is a mature game. Everything I am talking about is mature topics. If you are under 18, please do not watch my videos from now on. And I have I've checked different boxes in YouTube saying my everything isn't for kids. But if you are a kid, please stop watching. But thank you if you've gotten this far, and if you have, I feel kind of bad because you actually like my videos, but still don't watch them. When you turn 18, continue watching. Um, but uh, as I was saying, at a point, Celestial Sapien, the general motif, VTubers horny. There we go. I I am not going to do that. I am not going to do anything around horny shit because that is not when that is all you are doing. That is hard to get out of. I don't know how those VTubers are in personal life, but I want to be a person, not just a voice or an object. I don't like that, and I don't like when people do it. Not because of how it could affect them mentally and physically. That is why I don't like it. If they can do it, if they're still good people, if they're still people in general, I don't mind it. They can do it. Good job on them. But looking after the person behind the digits, that that is where I'm just eh. But I would love to have a VTuber model some videos, possibly, because the amount of expression, because I do talk with my hands, which is why I sit down my controller. I do talk with my hands, and I like standing up to pace when I'm actually trying to go full science and get the, not full science, full nerd, get the nerd out. Best way to put it. The information, the amount of information, dumb it down to nerd. But, I would love to have that general motif of Celestial Gladiator, but possibly more armor, but instead of black and stars. Like, I don't know. Okay. He actually is a very prominent meme. This actually is a good example. The radioactive guy from Batman, I think is Brave and the Bold, judging by the Batman look. Batman Brave and the Bold, where he's radioactive guy that has bones, but his flesh and muscle is just green, where you can see the bones going through it, but that's it. I'm wanting to do something like that where you know it's human. This is human bone, humans, everything when it comes to the bone structure, but with bright blue, just glow, because I love the color blue and just that. And part of what I'm going to want to do if I do get a VTuber model is have those bone structures. Like you would think they're bones, but I want them to be able to move and create different shapes and different things like that because I'm wanting to emphasize creation, emphasize ideas, emphasize making things out of anything. Just about when you have something, make something out of it, like turning lemons into lemonade. But that general thought process can go to anything and everything, which that's what I'm wanting to do. Since this video is going to be dedicated to me rambling, and I have about 10 minutes, or yeah, I'm just going to say 10, 10 minutes, good bit less, but so 10. I can just title this something along the lines of more in-depth look at me and how I think, possibly. I don't know. Uh, what was I going to say? I wanted to emphasize creativity and that general design philosophy, or not design philosophy, creativity and making things better, because I'm wanting to do basically anything and everything you could think of. I am wanting to make a restaurant that serves just about anything, like sushi. Hell no, I know I can't make that. I am white as fuck, southern, and I like sushi, but I don't think that that's okay to do. Because not because of like morals or cultural appropriation or anything like that. None of that. Just on the fact that I'm gonna want like country fried steak and gravy and sushi on that menu mixed with that is just two worlds that should not collide. Which is why I said I'm white, southern, different things like that. Like I'm gonna want that type of food, but still very, very good with a lot of flavors and all sorts of shit. Like I'm gonna want to do a lot of shit with that, but it's not just anything and everything. But a lot of different foods, a lot of different like for an example, I'm gonna want it's going to be Bubba portions. That is first and foremost. When you come here, you're expecting to eat a lot. It's not necessarily all you can eat, but I'm gonna want a couple things that are all you can eat, like different appetizers, so you can have the appetizer throughout the entire meal. So it's more of like a chips and salsa from a Mexican restaurant, but you get to choose your chips and your salsa because I'm wanting things like pretzels of different flavors or different crunch values, like crunchy pretzels with a good like cheese sauce, or not cheese sauce, like really any sauce could go really good there, but crunchy pretzels plus any sauce would be very good. And I'm sorry for making you hungry, but I'm going to get these ideas out, and just these little couple ideas. There's going to be a lot more that I'm going to want to do, but I'm getting a couple ideas out. I'm sorry for getting you hungry. Uh, Hope you can get a snack. Don't get a full meal if you've already eaten. And I know this is kind of redundant. You're old enough, hopefully, to understand these things, but don't eat too much. um, I'm gonna want the pretzel different crunch values, because soft pretzel and crunchy pretzel are two different flavors, even though they're made with the same stuff, made with the same bread basically. I don't know. Is crunchy bread versus soft, or crunchy pretzel versus soft pretzel the same stuff? But I don't know. The crunch and the texture alone changes the flavor in general, and the different flavor palettes and how different sauces will collide with it. Different things like that are what I'm wanting to hone in on when it comes to my restaurants that I'm wanting to make. I want to make one restaurant, not like multiple different things, multiple different types of food, because I'm wanting to have one thing, and that's typically how I'm going to want to do most of my different buildings, most of my different companies, but not companies, like things I'm doing. I'm going to want to have one overarching and then work from there, or not one overarching, one thing. Like for my restaurant, they're calling it food, because if you want food, you come here. There's so much food. There's all sorts of shit, kind of thing. Food. And my pricing, things I've talked about, is going to go into that too, because valuing it, different things like that. Uh, and like I've talked about with community, uh, I'm gonna want to have it where if you are very hungry but don't have money, like you're homeless, or hell, this is good for community because it allows younger people to get a good job, a good feel, but legally, I don't know how good this will work, and I'm not trying to get child labor. That's not the goal. It is the experience behind doing it and different things like that that is very good, like chores do in the household. They help the kid understand how to do different things when it comes to out and about life. But if even a kid's hungry that walked up to the restaurant, if they're really hungry, they can do dishes or mop or something like that. Not cook food, not do anything actually important. And even if they clean the dishes, even if it's a homeless guy, there's going to be somebody looking after it and making sure it's actually clean, just in case, not as a you're going to dirty it, because you're not going to want dirty food or dirty dishes. But something like that, because it will help community, or the community at large will be very good. And having it in different places scattered around, like all across Georgia, having multiple foods would be amazing. That is my family group chat in my text. If you heard that, I'm not going to look at that yet because I'm wanting to finish this video. It's almost done, but I don't think I'm being to that, hopefully. Uh, Another thing I'm wanting to do when it comes to when why I'm saying get my foot in the door of making games. That's what I want to do. Get my foot in the door, having money behind me to expand to other things. I'm also planning on having as many or as few people working in those different fields or those different buildings, so I can have all that money funneling into other things, so I can do a lot of other things. Another thing I'm wanting to do is have clubhouses, so to speak, to have people be able to just have more fun but safe. Like, for example, plus and minus clubs. I really like this idea, the naming structure, because it's 18 plus, 18 minus. I don't know where I'm going to put the 18 minus, but the 18 minus kind of like game consoles with like different fall or human fall flat, or human fall flat, Fall Guys is actually the game. Different things like that, just fun arcade games scattered around with like a good big play place in the middle with cameras out the fucking ass and security there 24/7, so people cannot just snatch a kid. Plus is going to be like a hookah bar, but not hookah, specifically not coal, because coal is going to have a long-term damage. I'm going to try my best to have like a paper alternative. so you can have a long burn, and if I do find out a way to make a paper-ish alternative that won't have long-lasting effects, that could, in theory, make it where you can smoke and not have bad problems, that is what I'm going to want to do and have it sold to all sorts of hookah bars around that area, because I'm not trying to take all of their publicity or all of their goods. Uh, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm sorry for this entire video being rant. It was not the goal, like I said in the beginning. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one.